Kudos to you.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes, thank you.
I was up by Riardo, so I was close by.
Yeah, but it was still,
Yeah.
still one of those things where it's
I got bored.
off day.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you guys should be good to go, and they probably heard our conversation, so.
That's all right.
That's all right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I will call this June, oh shit, it's my sister's birthday. I will call this June 15th meeting of Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to order. Would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Nick, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And all please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here.
Commissioner Boyd?
Here. We have a quorum. I will note that we are being live streamed right now. It's being sent out to our YouTube channel for public consumption. Any member of the public wishing to make public comment who is unable to be here in person can do so by submitting such comments of mboyd@lawrencecountypa.gov. That's mboyd@lawrencecountypa.gov, and it'll be entered into the meeting minutes and recorded as such. Also being recorded internally for our purposes of compiling the minutes. And to that end, if anybody has anybody present has any public comment or any staff member present has anything to report, we'd ask that they'd speak into the microphone on this desk here, so that it's picked up for our internal purposes in compiling those minutes. Row officer reports and comments. Are there any row officers or row officer representatives here with us today that have anything to report above and beyond what's already on the agenda? Seeing none. Public comment? Seeing none. Again, if you're virtual and you wish to submit something, mboyd@lawrencecountypa.gov. Fiscal and contractual, no advertising for bids or proposals, no receipt of bids or proposals, no fiscal reports, no report on quotes, no warrant registers today. I will note that we did open bids last week for an ADA project for funded through CDBG. I believe it was in Union, it's either in Union or Shenango Townships. Union. That is still under review. It should be on the agenda next week. But next we have approval of the minutes from Tuesday, June 8th, 2021. And I'll give my colleagues a minute to check those over and take a motion to approve the minutes or make any necessary changes.
Glad to see that you are highlighted. That's a little inside joke. A few weeks ago, the minutes, I kept looking for Commissioner Boyd's name, and the rest of us were in dark print. He was there, but he was just in the light print, so we took care of that.
Yes. And I will make that motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Good motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have one written communication today from Hickory Run for an MPDES permit, major amendment application notification. Letter reads, dear commissioners, it's required by section 1095-A, the administrative code, commonly referred to as Act 14. Hickory Run Energy is notifying you of its intent to file a major amendment application with the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, Northwest Regional Office for an MPDES permit to discharge industrial wastewater and stormwater associated with industrial activities from the Hickory Run Energy Station at North Beaver Township, Lawrence County. Existing permit authorizes discharge of industrial wastewater consisting of non-contact cooling water and miscellaneous low-volume wastewater and stormwater to the Mahoning River at a point located northwest of the intersection of Brewster and Covert Roads in North Beaver Township, Lawrence County. General information form is enclosed. If we want to submit any comments, must be responded to within 30 days to the DEP Northwest Regional Office. I'll note, as I do with all of these, that while companies and other entities performing work in Lawrence County are often required to send notifications to the Board of Commissioners that such work is being conducted, the Board of Commissioners has no approval authority in either approving or denying permit requests. I'll take a motion to accept and file correspondence unless there's any comment on the correspondence.
Just a quick comment. This, since it doesn't specifically say it, this is the relatively new natural gas-fired power plant off of State Route 551 in North Beaver. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely.
So moved.
Second. The motion is second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No proclamations and certificates today. Staff reports. Do we have any member of staff here with us today that has anything to report above and beyond what's already on the agenda? Seeing none, commissioner reports and comments. Dan, you're on deck first. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I mentioned this at the Planning Commission meeting last week, and I'm going to embarrass her for the second time because she's too modest. Commissioner Spielvogel, for the next 3 days, will be attending what I would call a very worthwhile seminar in Harrisburg. I did it last year, and Commissioner Spielvogel is going this year. It's called the Center for Excellence in Leadership. And it is sponsored by the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania, of which Lawrence County is a member. And she will be there with approximately 7 or 8 other county officials, 10 altogether. And it's a very worthwhile and educational seminar. And I'm so glad that you were accepted. It's a competitive thing to get into it. And you were one of the ones chosen. And if it's as good as it was when I went, I think you're going to find it to be very, very helpful. But I know you'll make Lawrence County proud when you're down there.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Absolutely. When do you take off?
This afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to leave this afternoon, yes.
Yeah, and safe travels after.
Yes, yes.
By the way,
Looking forward to it.
forgive me for interrupting. We, to leave from here to Harrisburg takes me 4.5 hours, probably takes you 4.
Last now.
But
Well, I would say.
It is what it is.
we had last week, I'm on the board of directors of the State County Commissioners Association. And the board met in Butler County last week because the current president of the board is Commissioner Kevin Boozle
Yes.
from Butler County. So every year the president hosts a meeting of the board of directors in his or her home county. I had a number of commissioners from the eastern part of the state say to me, wow, we didn't realize how long of a drive you have every time you come to Harrisburg. So they got a real appreciation for the amount of distance that it is between here and the central or eastern part of the
Yes.
state. So
Yes.
but safe travels.
Thank you.
Thanks
I
again.
appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman.
Well, you mentioned Bamboozle. It's also his birthday
It
today.
is his birthday.
It
I saw
is.
that, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's hard to believe that his year is close to being up.
As president,
Yes.
yeah.
Who's on deck next?
Darrell Miller from Bradford County. Very
Okay.
nice man, very good man. And then after him will be Chip Abramovic from Venango County.
All right.
Yeah, so we've got,
Always that continuum of the leadership there. They're very involved with that, which makes it.
the way it
very
works for
well.
the leader, as they just referenced, you start by being the second vice president, and then you move to first vice president, then president, and then you chair the board. So the board meetings right now are being run by Commissioner Jeff Snyder from Clinton County. So next year, Commissioner Boozle will be the chairman of the board, and he'll run the meetings, and Commissioner Miller will be the board president. So it's good structure the way they do it. So,
Mhm.
but again, you're gonna meet some great people
Yes.
this week.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Sorry,
Yes.
I keep rambling. So I'm done. I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Loretta, you're on deck next. Floor is yours.
Okay, and I'll just say thank you for giving me the time to go. I know it's 3 full days out of the office, but I just think in any way to be able to enhance any knowledge of the processing of county government and anything that would up my game, I think is something to go for, to strive for. I'm looking forward to it. It looks like it's, intensive for the time being, and they tell you be prepared for it, but I'm looking forward to it. And I was telling Dan this morning, I can understand the excitement, like with CCAP being involved in so many different things, because that just having that interaction with different members of county governments across the state, just you get a perspective of what goes on in their counties and why the counties are different. And it helps to have that where, maybe you have a problem in your county and they've already solved that problem, or they have different solutions for it. So again, I'm looking forward to being there in Harrisburg for these 3 days. But like we said before, we're all looking forward to getting together for anything CCAP, that we can meet in person. So, yeah, definitely. And I would be remiss if I did not say congratulations to both Newcastle and Shenango for advancing to the state finals. They will be in Happy Valley, trying to claim the gold for the state title. I just think that it's such dedication and time that the players and the coaches that they've committed to get to this pinnacle is just phenomenal. And I wish them the best of luck and safe travels to them as well. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Only thing I'll add is yesterday, I was in the office for a little bit yesterday. We finalized our submissions to Senator Casey's office for potential congressional earmarks for different infrastructure projects that we want to take place across Lawrence County. Economic Development took the lead on submitting those earmarks, but we actually were on a conference call briefly yesterday just to get everything finalized and make sure everything was submitted and that we're in a competitive position relative to other counties in Pennsylvania and other counties across the Commonwealth and other counties across the United States to be rewarded such earmarks. The three that we submitted for, and if I'm missing one that you guys are aware of, please fill in the blanks. But the first one is for natural gas infrastructure improvements on US Route 422 from the city of Newcastle municipal line out through Union Township, through Mahoning Township, and up and through Pulaski, as well as an extension potentially into Neshannock Township to the Millennium Park site. The second one that we submitted for, or more accurately, that Economic submitted on our behalf, Economic Development submitted on our behalf, was for Enterprise Park in the city of Newcastle, specifically transportation infrastructure improvements at that site. And then the third that we submitted for was for the Newcastle Municipal Airport, which is a county authority located in Union Township, for runway extensions and a new terminal building. And so those were finalized yesterday. Everything was submitted. Support letters are in, and now it goes to the funnel at the congressional level, and hopefully we'll be able to. We're in a competitive position to land some of those. But just wanted to report that those were filed and finalized yesterday.
Thank you for
Yes.
coming in. The courthouse was
Absolutely,
closed
yes.
yesterday, but thank you
Yes.
for coming in.
Oh, I have no life. That's that's quite all right. I'm sure at various points you guys were both in on the weekend too.
You have that dedication, not you have no life, you have that dedication, and you were here and you participated in the call, and that's a good thing. Yeah, that's okay.
No, but actually it was interesting. I was down at LCAP for talking about our Union Township project with Tom Scott, and then I got an email from Robbie, and so I just popped in. But it was very, very productive. Ended up being a very productive day. I thought
Absolutely.
But up next on the agenda, we have the new resolution section. Sure I'm not missing anything. First on deck, resolution for discussion and possible approval to enter an agreement with Pitney Bowes for a postal machine. This will be resolution 2021-117. This very simply is their postage machine. It's how we process mail in the courthouse. I don't really feel the need to elaborate any more than that. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No. Gotta process the mail, so.
I don't really have a choice on that one. Next up, resolution like 2021-118, a budget amendment for our Department of Public Safety, increasing the state interconnectivity count by $38,234.22 and increasing the West Core R13 NG 911 GIS project account by $30,000, as well as our Region 19 ESI net maintenance account by $8,234.22. This is funded through 15% interconnectivity fund, which are revenues that they receive through various phone taxes that each and every one pays, levied by the state. Make that 118.
May I interrupt for just one moment,
Yes.
please? Thank you. This is mostly for the benefit of Mr. Versilla from the Ledger. maybe to save you from having to write too much, one of the things we do at the end of the meeting, we each have a packet up here with the documents that the chairman's referring to. And generally, when the meeting ends, I usually give my packet to Debbie from the Newcastle News. Would one of you be willing to
Dan,
give?
You read my mind.
Okay.
I was just thinking, I have a tendency to doodle a little bit on my papers, and I thought, I won't do that today. I'll hand over my packet. Yes.
So yeah, you'll have
Okay.
these documents that give you more
Yeah.
specific information about what we're, so you won't have to write as much.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me interrupt you, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Up next, resolution 2021-119. We have to appoint, Lawrence County and Mercer County collectively, the two boards of commissioners, the two counties themselves form, what's called the West Central Job Partnership. A key component of the West Central Job Partnership is a workforce investment board, which effectively serves as an advisory board for the organization. It comprised of individuals in varying professions across both counties. Lawrence County is responsible for appointing a number of those individuals, and Mercer County is responsible for appointing a number of those individuals. And so to that end, these next 6 or 7 resolutions relate to the appointment of those members. So I'm not going to elaborate for every single resolution. I'll state the name. So 119 will be Henry Grafton of I'm sorry, Harry Grafton. Thank you for catching that. 120 will be Frank Tellez. 121 will be Linda Nitch. 122 will be Hope Vaccaro. 123 will be Gail Steck. And 124 will be Debbie Van Kirk. Questions, comments on any of those?
No.
I'm assuming, I recognize all the names, I'm guessing these are all reappointments. Do we know that? Or are there any new appointments? To your knowledge, they're all
No
reappointments.
reappointments, correct?
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
And I'll note, just as I always do, and it's nothing against some of the individuals on the list, but when I was campaigning, I did make a promise that I would not vote to appoint anybody to any board who served more than 2 terms or 8 years, whichever is more. And so to that end, the no votes that I'm going to cast have nothing to do with the quality of the individual or should indicate in any way that I have a problem with those individuals. I'm just fulfilling a campaign promise. And so to that end, I'll be voting no on 4 of those appointments. Up next, just a number of various transfers. First up, out of the commissioner's budget, $3,000 from our contingency to materials and supplies. Again, when we built out the conference room, we used up a lot of our materials and supplies budget. And so to that end, we did a transfer there.
Okay.
This is relating to bridge work for Banks Covered Bridge out of our Act 44 and Act 89 contingencies. Both of those accounts have substantial amounts of funding in them. And we are cleared through our engineers that we're able to use them for some stuff that we're doing on Banks Covered Bridge in Wilmington Township. But we're taking $31,074.50 from both Act 44 and Act 89 and transferring to our Banks Covered Bridge construction accounts to help pay for some of the work that's being done up there. Up next, assuming this is District Attorney. No, it's Tracy Romick. It's domestic. Oh, there it is. I see them both now. Domestic relations. They're taking $4,750 from their contingency account, moving it to office minor. They're buying some new tasers for the DRS detectives. Adult probation, moving $50 from their contingency to community service. I guess I was a little under budget in my projections for community service insurance, which we pay for whenever individuals on probation go out and work in the community. You're required to have community service insurance. I guess I was $50 off on my estimates there when compiling the budget. Here we have an unfortunate but required $50,000 transfer from part-time guards to staff overtime for the jail. Obviously, we have an ongoing issue relating to jail overtime coming out of that department, and this will help cover those costs. The upside to a labor shortage is we have a surplus in the part-time guards.
Right, and,
So,
yes,
but we are actively trying. I think Karen King is up in our conference suite, 2 or 3 times a week doing interviews for part-time guards and full-time guards. And so they are working to fill those slots to try to drive down the cost of overtime. But this is a problem that's not just at the jail. It's a problem that we're faced with across the country right now.
absolutely.
By the way, and it ties in, you're talking about West Central Job Partnership. They are having on, actually tomorrow at the Cathedral, a community job fair. And there are some pretty substantial employers
Absolutely.
being represented there. We will have a table there specifically, well, for the county in general, but more specifically for looking for folks that might want to work at the jail. So Mrs. King is going to be at the Cathedral most all of tomorrow. Let's hope she finds some people.
Yes, we certainly, it isn't for lack of trying, I will definitely say that.
A drug test and a background check. We'll take anyone.
There you go. Yes. That's it. I mean, we're at that point right now, and as you said, across the state and across the country as well.
But I'll take a motion to approve administrative transfers A through F.
So moved.
Second. I have a motion to second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. I'll take a motion to approve resolutions 2021-117 through 2021-12, I'll take a motion to amend the agenda to allow for voting on resolutions
I was gonna say,
2021-117 through 2021-124.
so moved.
Second.
We have motion second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. First on deck, Pitney Bowes, Resolution 2021-117. Now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, authorization is hereby given to execute a 60-month lease agreement with Pitney Bowes for a Send Pro P3000 series business solution machine, including maintenance and meter rental. Monthly lease payment shall be $672.65 per month. We have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-118, now that we resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to amend the 2021 Lawrence County budget as follows: increasing revenue 911 state interconnect payment account by $38,232.22, increasing expense 911 West 4-R13 NG 911 GIS project account by $30,000, and increasing the expense 911 Region 13 ESI net maintenance account by $8,234.22. Reason being FEMA 15% interconnectivity funding for our GIS project and our ongoing ESI net maintenance, which are projects 2018-22 and 2019-28 respectively. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-119. Now that we resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to appoint the following individual to the Workforce Investment Board: Harry Grafton, out of the business sector, term of office to be July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2024. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Resolution 2021-120. This is Frank Teller's only. It's the same verbiage, just different people. Out of the workforce sector's workforce apprenticeship, term of office, same term as prior. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
No.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Linda Nitch, Sector Economic Development, term is the same. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
No.
Motion carries.
Resolution 2021-122, Hope Vaquero, out of the business sector, term of office is the same. I'll note she's with the Elwood Group. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, resolution 2021-123, Gail Steck, Office of Vocational Rehab, terms the same. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
No.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And resolution 2021-124, name is Debbie Van Kirk, out of the business sector. Business sector. Same term, coming from Bruce and Merrill's. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
No.
Motion carries.
Thank you. No further resolutions, no ordinances on the table for introduction or final action. Announcements. Next commissioners meeting will be held at 10 a.m. on June 22nd in the commissioners meeting room. There will be, is the prison board meeting postponed, or is that when the meeting's going to be?
It was postponed from tomorrow.
Okay, next meeting will be on June 23rd at noon in the commissioners meeting room. Any further announcements, anything else that either of you want to add?
Just that the meeting, that this postponement and the rescheduling was properly advertised for prison board.
Great. Joe, anything from you?
No.
Vanessa, anything from you? Any additional, or I guess any public comments made at this time?
No.
Seeing.
Just back to stay back. I'm here, keep my eye on you. I've been laying low for a while.
I wondered where the hell you've been.
Good to see you. Good to see
It is
you.
good to see you. Make sure that's in the record. Make sure that everybody's straight.
There we go.
All right, with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, second? Second. Questions on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Lawrence County Board of Commissioners is adjourned.
All right. Very good. Good to see you.
Yeah, Dick, it's nice to see you.